Tell me twice, tell me lover.
My own original music is a mixture of my folk upbringing and my love for pop and hip hop. So it's a weird kind of mix of all three. And I use the harp and banjo as kind of the main instruments. And then I have a full piece band around it as well. So it's quite a full sound. But it kind of came from, as I said, my upbringing in folk music, or what we call Irish traditional music. I started to kind of divulge and go a little bit further into the pop realm. I went and did a master's in ethnomusicology in the meantime, and thought I wanted to go into a PhD and start lecturing, but I kind of had a pull to spend a year traveling, and not traveling, but touring and doing my own music. And basically I haven't done the PhD yet, so it's kind of been from there onwards. Moved to London 4 years ago, signed a management deal and started kind of working on my artistry project, which was kind of far removed from traditional Irish music at this point. If you come to a show or hear my music, there's very, very high influence of Irish traditional music mixed with 90s pop. I want to be a superstar hip hop artist. It's not in me naturally, but I pull from bits of that as well. So that's where you end up. The stuff I'm just after releasing is actually part of a new duo that I'm in. We kind of since figured out that we're coming from a very similar kind of upbringing, I suppose, or habitats in music. So it worked for some reason. And then we just spent 3 or 4 months in this dark, grungy room in Battersea Park Studios making this project. And we put, I'd say, about 20 songs or demos together, and had every intention of getting it out straight away. But here we are 4 years later, getting the first song out for many different reasons. You've heard them all before. We've played around with labels and been, you know, pulled left and right with different management, and it was all wrong. And in the end, we just said, okay, we're going to do it ourselves. So the lockdown was the perfect time because all of my tours were cancelled with my solo project, all of my gigs. You know, I had a full calendar. Summer was full of gigs and tours and everything, which were all paused or postponed or cancelled. And likewise, DJ hadn't as much on his plate, so we decided this is the time. So during lockdown, we are lockdown babies, really. We're Corona babies. Go along with your ancient ways. Speaking of your mind. We released that song that you're talking about. It's called Come By Me. You find it on Spotify or anything, but it's a really interesting sound mixing, as we said, church music with trad music, and it kind of makes what we call rebel pop, which is a different kind of pop than you've ever heard before, but still somehow fits into that realm. In the field of wonders, our blood don't seem to mix. If it had just been me, if in a normal situation and it was just my gigs that were being cancelled for whatever personal reason, or, you know, I think it would have hit harder. I think then you just need to kind of go, okay, this is what it is. This is where we are. I'm not going to change it. You're not going to change it. Nothing's going to change for the next couple of months at least. So how do you now best utilize your time? And that's when we said, okay, DJ, Mom, this project is called Mom. I'm not talking to my mother. This is our time. Let's do this now. Let's see how we can do it. We've nothing to lose. We're not, you know, we haven't invested a load of money into this yet. So yeah, I think there was a moment there where I just had to kind of sit myself down and go, okay, dry your tears, get over it. What are you going to do at the time that's going to be effective for you? She was born in a dirty old town. I've done plenty of the Facebook lives and Instagram lives at this point, and I could easily do some more of those, but I feel like there's something else needs to come of it. People are nearly sick of that now. You know yourself, there was like an overload of live gigs on that first week or two, and everybody was sick of them. No more than Zoom meetings or Zoom hangouts. So something is going to change, something is going to come in that's going to be new, and it's exciting because it's going to change what it means to be an artist, and it's going to change what it means to be a successful artist. And I'm kind of like up for that challenge, you know. I'm ready for whatever that is going to be. The one shared, agreed idea or conclusion is that it was lovely to have an excuse to slow down. You have to be in it to win it, kind of thing. You have to keep going, you have to keep active, you have to be there, you have to do that gig, you have to get that support slot, you know. It was lovely to have an excuse to come out of that and not feel like you're going to fall behind. That's kind of what I mean by the shared misery of it all, is like there was something beautiful in it. Everybody had to stop. You weren't missing out on anything because there was nothing happening, and you got a chance to stop and slow down. And what I've really figured out is I've kind of reverted back to my 18 or 19-year-old creative self, where I didn't have these pressures of you know, writing a hit that the radio is gonna like, or you know, doing this big gig, or putting $5,000 into a PR campaign, or whatever it is that you're kind of thinking of at that time. Now that you're in it, your 18 or 19-year-old creative self just made music to make music. Once you've got that bite to be in music, you really have very little choice otherwise than to go for it. Now, I think at some point you can probably decide, okay, I'm done with it now. I've done enough. I'm going to go get a, you know, 9-to-5 job or whatever. But I think if you've truly got the bite and the curse, whatever way you want to put it, that you want to do music and you want to create music and you want to perform music, then yeah, you have to just scratch that itch. You gotta just go and give it all you can.
Up on the fiddle scream, wearing a dancing shoes. She danced the rhythm of the blues under the rising moon. Beyond the pit and the gloom, she was igniting dreams of freedom. She used to sing so loud, right in the middle of the crowd.